get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 2 gang, y'all, let's get it, y'all. Part 2 gang, y'all, let's get it. Like, share, subscribe, let's get it. Let's go. Man, that jump was crazy. I'm looking at him like, bro, you told on me, bro. He was like, his face looked crazy. He was like, it was like, exit off a child. It's my word, they all got him. He was like in a cocoon of Richmond dudes, just walking a child home. And I know he was shook a little bit, you know what I mean? I was like, man, I felt bad. I'm in the back of the line, I'm telling my homeboy, I'm like, yo, man. I said, man, this dude, man. I said, you ain't gonna believe this. He was like, what? I said, man, he done told the freaking dude, John, I got some D-block. My homeboy said, you got some D-block? I'm like, bro, listen, my roommate brought it back, bro. I said, I gave him $150, da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? He was like, for real. I'm like, yeah. He like, man, why you tell dude? I'm like, man, I don't know, man. I was like, he wildin', man. I said, man, he tripped out for that, man. He was like, man, that's crazy. Oh, that's why they got your celly in the headlock like that, huh? I was like, yeah. I said, because, you know, they probably want something for free. I said, you know how it go, bro. You know what I mean? He was like, that's crazy right there. I was like, man, me and him got to have a conversation when he come back to the cell, man. You know what I mean? I was like, that's wild. So we going to Chow Hall and eat. Like, there wasn't really nothing. Like, they all sat at the table. He sat at the table, all of them. And it wasn't really nothing. So we come back from the Chow Hall, we get in the party. So we get in the party, like we about to lock down. Like I can't wait till we lock down. I'm like, man, this junk crazy, man. I'm like, yo, this junk wild. So like, I'm like, man, where my roommate at, man? So the dudes already called lockdown, because this after dinner, it's about to be lockdown. So they already called lockdown. So I stepped out a little bit out the door, like, where my roommate at, man? Looking. It's getting empty and emptier out in the party. They about to hit group lock. Group lock is when they shut all the doors. She about to hit the group lock. I'm like, where my celly at, man? I'm like, man, this is my word. I see him coming up the steps. He was like, he came up the steps like that. He was like, he started checking his head. Or he squeezed past me. He going to cell. I shut the door. I was like, yo, bro, what's up? You good? He was like, man, why you tell? I said, bro, what you mean? Why I tell? I said, you told him I had it. He was like, no, like, I ain't mean to, though. He was like, man, I promise you I ain't mean to. Like, I said, bro, listen, I didn't mean to. I said, I was having a conversation with a freaking psycho. I said, dude is a psycho, man. He just acting nice now. He was like, no. I said, man, what happened to you, though, man? I said, what happened to your head right there? He had like a little mark right there. It was like, he thought it was bleeding, but it wasn't. He was like, nah, I just got the rumbling. I said, you just got the rumbling? I was like, who you got the rumbling with? He said, remember the dude I told you I was in receiving with? I'm like, yeah. He was like, man, you know, like, he done looked out for me before when he ain't got a pack. Like, he done got something that looked out for me. So, like, you know, when they was talking to me, like, they basically was like, man, I know you got a pool shot. And, you know, like, I ain't want to keep throwing you under the bus. So I just told them I had a gram. You know what I mean? So, like, I ain't going to make no money now because they want some money. They want to do something for free. So, like, when I told him I couldn't really look out, he was like, they dude wanted to fight me. So he said he went in the room and fought me. I said, you rumbled him? He was like, yeah. I was like, did you win? He was like, man, I thought he was going to bank me, shorty. Like, for real though, man. I told my girl I was going to stay out the way, bro. And, like, I was like, so you fought back? He was like, yeah, I fought back, but I held back. I was like, you held back? I said, bro, you are from Richmond. Why you thought that? He was like, I ain't from Richmond, shorty. He was like, look, they just, man, listen, man, they just hate us, bro. Like, you know, they cool. You know how it is where you from. It be the ones where you from. I'm like, man, like, you know, like, he's right. Like, that's how I usually be. Like, it don't really be the outside people that you really have problems with now. It could be, but at the end of the day, I always see it be the people where you from, man. Like, the people that'll cross you up, the people that'll backdoor you, man. It always the people where you from, you also boom. And that's what make life crazy, man. The penitentiary even crazier, man, because it's to a whole nother degree in there. So, like, he just got in a fight. You know what I mean? And he just told me that he didn't mean to throw me under the bus. But at the end of the day, I'm like, all right, so you fought. So what's up with the dude, John? He was like, man, I gave him something, man. I just gave him something, man. I was like, for real? I was like, he know you can fight. And he was like, nah, I just went and dude's cell just to get it over with real quick. I said, man, that's crazy, man. I was like, I was like, yo, bro. I was like, bro, this, like, you got a lot going on, bro. Real talk, man. I was like, man. He was like, man, I know, man. He was like, man, and I only got this left. He showed me what he had left. I'm like, that junk was like half of what he gave me. I'm like, did you make any money yet? He was like, nah, I just been looking out. You know what I mean? He was like, nah, I just been looking out, bro. Like, I ain't really made no bread yet. I'm like, bro, you got freaking, I was like, man, I don't know what to say, man. So I just got silent. I could have gave him advice, but I felt like I'd have been overstepping my boundaries, man. Like, for one, I'm not from Richmond. For two, I just met this guy. For three, yeah, we made a play, and we're in the car together for this situation right here, man. But for four, he gotta be able to stand up for himself, man. Real talk, man. He has to, man. Like I'm, you know what I mean? Like, you know, my dude's gonna be like, yo, bro, you ain't, come on, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be like, you right, because I ain't gonna want to involve my guys to, you know what I mean? Because I already know now, they waiting to see what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? Because I already know what John's saying. John like, yeah, that dude Weezy got some train. I know he got some train. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're not gonna dictate what I do with mines. I don't care if you freaking had 5 bodies back in the day, man. I don't care about that, John. Like, John didn't scare me, man. He just was like a different type of worsen, and it makes you feel like you might gotta just jump out there on him, man. You know what I mean? Because he gonna end up doing something stupid. But like, I felt like he picked his prey, and that's what a lot of those Terminators do, man. They make sure they pick the right prey, y'all. So boom, so the doors open up, man. We went out. He didn't want to go out. He said he had to use the bathroom, so he stayed in the cell. I come out. I come down the steps. I come down the steps and meet my homeboy. My homeboy slept at 16, so he be right there by the steps. So I meet him. He like, what's up? I'm like, bro, ain't nothing, man. He's like, you holler at your seven? I'm like, yeah. He's like, what'd he say? I'm like, man, he's like, he ain't mean to throw me under the bus, da 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 da. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't mean to do this and do that, da 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 da. As he's saying that, I just see John going up the steps. John like this. He went up the steps like this. He was like, he got to my door. He was like, they cut us up. He was like, see him go to the crack of the door. He was like, he said something. I couldn't hear what he was saying. The cut come down. You know what I mean? My roommate told me he had to use the bathroom. I'm like, man, this dude, what, man? I'm like, man, John crazy, man. So cut come down. John started talking to him for a little bit more. I don't know what had happened, but as soon as he went down there and started talking to my roommate, John had got somebody to get the door popped. So the lady opened the door for my roommate. My roommate come out the joint. He step out. Him and John start talking for a minute. I looked over at the corner. I see the Richard dudes there. I guess the dude he was fighting. You can see them over there. Dudes still strapped up. Like he want round 2. You know what I mean? Or either get him some work. One of the other round 2 of the work. Like he looked like he wanted one of them. So they over there looking like they ready, just waiting for my seller to come out. I'm looking like this is nuts. Like, how is all this going on that we got to pack? I haven't even sold one gram, one freaking egg. I haven't sold anything. So how is this even happening? I promise you, man, this man come out. He come down the steps with John. When he come down the steps with John, him and John just standing by the steps. So I guess the Richard dude was waiting for him to come back in the cell so they could fight again. It looked like he had his door jammed. So me and my homeboy still, we not far from this activity. We right here by the steps. I'm standing by my man. But you know, everybody know he my roommate, but I'm not from Richmond. So I don't have nothing to really do with this. Like, I know y'all should be like, Weezy, you should have protected a man to keep the play. You can't always protecting somebody just for some money, y'all, in there. It's not always the good move, man. Like, y'all are saying these things from watching this story. Like, when you inside that freaking cage, man, that place called the prison, the pod, like, you're not gonna do that stuff all the time, man. Like, yeah, you can protect certain people, and it's still not gonna work. You're not gonna be able to get money and protect people because there's gonna always be somebody that trying. You know what I mean? You gotta deal with somebody with a backbone, pause. Like, you gotta deal with somebody that ain't scared to hustle. Those dudes that be scared to hustle, they not worth saving. I'm being honest with y'all, they not. And I'm looking at this whole situation now, like, man, my roommate, man, like, we might gotta discuss him being in the cell now, y'all. So boom, I was just waiting to see how this was gonna turn out, man. Him and John was talking, and next thing you know, John walked them down there to where those dudes was at, man. And John told the dude straight up, yeah, shawty. Like, never heard John get this loud. He was like, nah, shawty, ain't going down like that, shawty. Yeah, he ain't from the city, shawty, but he good, shawty. What you mean, shawty? That's all you heard was shawty, shawty, shawty. That John sound like a song, shawty, shawty, shawty. He was like, nah, shawty, no, He ain't from the city, but he close by, shawty. Yeah, he close. Nah, he ain't going down like that. Y'all ain't doing that. Y'all better do something else. Y'all ain't doing that. So the dude, I guess the dude that he was fighting, won't trying to hear it. He won't trying to hear it. So John was like, what you saying then? Shit, you act like I ain't never fought a nigga from the city. He was like, look at my roommate, he was like, hold me down, shawty. Dude was like, oh, you wanna fight? You wanna fight, bro? I ain't scared of you, bro. I ain't scared. They went in the joint. They in cell 22. John sleeping 22. They went in the joint, man. All you heard was a little scuffle. The joint was Alright, bro. Alright. John got up. John was like, man, get this nigga out my motherfucking cell, bro. Somebody get this nigga out my motherfucking cell. So one of his homeboys went in the joint and got dude out the cell. When dude come out the cell, he come out the cell like this. This word when he walked by, I'm looking like, with this freaking aggressive fiend, no jujitsu, y'all, so boom. I didn't know what happened, but I didn't see any bruises. I didn't see no blood. I didn't see none of that. I just seen a dude looking like he needed help to get back to cell 14. You know what I mean? And he helped him back to his cell. Now, I don't know if he dumped him and hurt him. I don't know what it was. But my roommate was just standing there like he was in a maze, like, you know what I mean? So John was like, yeah, you good, shawty? Like, yeah, you good, man. Ain't nobody gonna mess with you, man. Make your money. You good, shawty? Yeah, you good. Hey, goddamn. He's like, yeah, you good, shawty. Make your money. Hey, look, let me get another one of them jumps before you go in right quick. Dude, my roommate was like, went in his pocket, was like, here you go. He gave it to John. John was like, you good, bro? Hit him on the head like that. He was like, yeah, you good, bro? My roommate was like, walked away. The dudes from Richmond, they was standing over there. So I'm like, yo, like the dude John, like, you know, I have seen all Maniac plays, man. I'm letting y'all know now. Like, it ain't not one play I ain't seen yet. Now, I probably did, but like majority of them plays, I have seen it all. Now, I was really thinking that John really saved this guy. You know what I mean? Because I was feeling like John wanted to be the guy that was his right-hand man. That's usually what these Terminators and these freaking psycho fiends will do. Like, they'll do something just so they can prove that I can be your right-hand man, which means that's more D-block and train for them. That's basically what it is. So, like, I'm thinking that he done this because he wanted to freaking, you know what I mean, be his right-hand man. And, like, he got the dudes up off him. So, my roommate looking stupid the rest of the time in the block. So, we locked down again. When we locked down, he come in and say, he like, man, that John crazy. Like, that's what he get, though. He standing at the door and the door closed. I'm standing behind him looking at him like, he like, yeah, that's what he get, though. Yeah, John taught him a lesson. Yeah, John taught him a lesson. Yeah, John taught him a lesson, Shawty. I'm like, yeah, that John crazy, man. I'm like, yo, so look, though. I said, so with John your ace now? He was like, ace. That's what we say from where I'm from. I'm like, so what is he, your homeboy now? Your stick man? Like, y'all cool? He like, I mean, man, look, man, one thing about that train on the street, Shawty, you can't be out there by yourself selling that train, Shawty. He's like, I used to have a dude from Richmond that was from the city that used to be with me when I'm selling the train on the street. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, you was selling on the street? He was like, yeah, I was selling on the street. He said, I used to have a shooter that was from Richmond that used to be with me. So I'm like, for real, man? He like, yeah, like, you can't be alone with this shit. He was like, you ain't trying to be this. I was like, what? Before he can even get the word out of his mouth, I'm gonna say, what? He was like, I mean, I know you ain't, you know what I mean? I was like, nah, bro, I ain't from Richmond. I said, you gonna have the whole Richmond hating me, bro. I'm like, nah, y'all already know what time it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, they gonna be down on him, man, because it's like fresh meat. It's like a hyena. It's like a freaking lion seeing a couple of hyenas eat something that they just caught, man. What a lion gonna do? A lion gonna take the prey, also boom. And that's what John did to them, man, with my roommate, man. He took their prey. The young boys wanted him, but John deboed the jump. But he just a veteran how he did it. He jumped on the young boys, you know what I mean? So I'm like, this jump crazy. So my roommate feeling good about the whole situation. He feeling good about the whole situation. So I'll say probably about 2 days go by, you know what I mean? So I guess he been looking out for John almost every day. You know what I mean? As long as John got something to do every couple times a day, he's good. So I guess he's been looking out for him a couple times a day. He ain't rocking with them Richmond dudes no more like that, them other little Richmond dudes, but he's rocking with John. So John feeling good because John accomplished his mission. I'm looking back at this joint like, yo, bro, like, you really making a mistake. And I still haven't sold anything yet. For a lot of reasons, man. Because for one, I had food in my box. For two, I wasn't in a rush. For three, like, I'm trying to see how this play out. Because I'm like, if bro leave, then I'm going to be the only one with it. And then everybody's going to buy. Because I don't know what's going on, man. I didn't know how this was going to play out. So I just kept mine in the cut. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. So like, on the second day, probably like 2 days go by, man. It's my word. I see bro, I see my roommate. He pull up on me like we was in a pod. Like, he seen me like, man, I gotta holler at you too, bro. I'm like, what you gotta holler at me about? He was like, you don't know nobody who trying to move in the room with you? I'm like, when he say that, I'm like, move in the room with me? He be like, yeah, I mean, cause I might move down to cell 22 with John. I'm like, I looked at him like, you was a stupid idiot. I'm like, oh, for real? He like, yeah, I might move down there. I was like, well, all right. I was like, but nah, when you try to do that though? Yeah, I can get somebody in there. I was like, when you trying to do that? He was like, I'm saying sooner the better. I just ain't want to throw, you know what I mean? I just ain't want to have you in the blind. That's why I'm telling you about it. I was like, yeah, I respect that though, you know what I mean? As I'm saying that, I see John standing over there like this. Like John is like, he was nodding. John was watching us like, he was like, you know what I mean? So we keep on talking. I look up. John making his way to me. I promise you, man. Like, it was just looking like his steps was feeling crazy. He came. He was like, as he got closer, he was like, who got some more train, Shawty? I'm like, this word, my roommate looking at him laughing like, you tore up too. You tore up too. John was like, started scratching his elbow. He was like, I ain't tore up. I just need more train. He looked at me. I was like, I looked this way. Hey, bro, let me get after you on the phone, bro. You about to get off. All right, I'm after you. He was like, when I turned around, he was still like this. He was like, you holler at him? My roommate was like, yeah, partially. I was like, oh yeah, he good to move. I ain't tripping on that. My homeboy was like, yo, I was like, all right. I dipped on him, y'all. So boom. Conversation over with, man. This man scratching it. I'm out of here. I dipped to the phone. I go get to the phone. I turn my back to see what they was doing. I was like, I see them over there, John, like this. My roommate like, man, this dude's up to, man. I'm like, man, so I use the phone. I ain't even have to use the phone. I call Mom Dukes for nothing. Use the phone. I get off the phone, lockdown time. I walk to the cell. He upstairs already up there. He never on time at the cell. He's standing up there already. You know what I mean? So I'm like, looking at him like, I promise you at that moment, I didn't know what he was up to. I didn't know what he was up to at this moment, but still, though, like, it's just something felt creepy. You know what I mean? Because when freaking the dude John asked him, did he holler at me? He told me partially. Like, he hollered at me about the move. I don't care about that. What else you got to holler at me about? So I ain't paying that joke no attention. I went upstairs. When I get to the cell, he see me. He like, you can tell when somebody want to talk to you. He like, I'm like, shh. Doors closed. Boom. Doors closed. He was like, man, look, Weezy, man, I need a favor, man. I was like, you need a favor? He was like, hold on. When he looked, he was like, oh, they ain't count yet. I was like, what's up? What's up? What's good? What you need? What's going on? He was like, I need you to give me some of that train, shawty. I was like, you need to give you some train? I was like, look, I'm selling mines, bro. Like, I don't know what you know what I mean? I'm selling mines, bro. Like, real talk. Like, I paid you $150. I haven't even made $150 yet, bro. What do you mean? He's like, I mean, look, I just need you to make me a couple eggs so I can keep John afloat until I can go to VI. Like, I basically just want to borrow it for real and I give it back. I ain't got time to be buying it right now, Weezy, because I'm trying to put something together. You know, I ain't made no money and all of this. My girl gonna go on her check and she gonna buy me a joint, the same joint I just get. I said, oh, so you don't need me no more, which I was happy. You know what I mean? I didn't say that though. I'm like, well, all right, that's what's up. He was like, so that's why I was just trying to borrow something. So I'm like, man, you gotta borrow something. He was like, man, listen, I gotta keep him at bay because if he don't got nothing, he gonna get violent. And he was like, I don't want it like that because he really think you got. I said, bro, listen, he can do whatever he want. He's not taking nothing from me or coming to talk to me all aggressive. I said, he never done that. And if he disrespect me, do it like that. I said, I'm taking off on him on sight. I don't care, bro. Like, I'm a maniac, bro. Don't do that, bro. He's not the only maniac in this pod. He was like, I'm saying, like, that's what I'm trying to avoid. Like, he ain't gonna do nothing to you, but like, I'm worried about me, bro. I'm worried. I said, bro, you about to move, ain't you, in the sale? He was like, yeah. He was like, but at least when I strike again, I can keep him at bay. I'm like, bro, listen, man, like you, bro, listen, man, I ain't got time for that, bro. You know what I mean? I was like, look, so what you want though? Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, what you talking about, man? Like, cause for when I started thinking, like, you know what I mean? Like, don't leave bro out there because I know he got a real Terminator on his heels. You know what I mean? So like, I was thinking about everything. Like, yo, like, don't leave him hanging. Pause. Like, just if you can help him. You know he gonna get something else because he got to pay this maniac. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what you talking about, bro? He was like, you ain't sold nothing yet, right? I'm like, nah. He was like, man, throw me the $50,000. I was like, throw you a $50,000? He was like, yeah. I said, what you gonna give me back? He was like, a half a gram. I said, nah, bro, it don't work like that. Everybody else is getting special privileges, bro. I said, what's up with my money, bro? I don't get no money for this. You gotta give me back a gram for the half a gram. He was like, oh, gram, what is it? I'm like, I thought about it. I'm like, bro, listen, close to a gram. You know what I mean? Close to a gram then, bro. Like, cause you about to go back and get a bunch of stuff. I said, what I'm gonna do? You messing up my plate. And he was like, man, bro, for real, man. Like for real, bro. Hold on. He went to the sink. He was like, he cut the water on. He was like, he stuck his fingertips under the water faucet. He was like, I said, bro, what you doing? He was like, catching the drain, shorty. Maniacs off that D block, man. He was like, look, I said, man, you wildin', bro. Why you ain't wait till they counted? He was like, couldn't wait no more. He was like, and that was the last egg I had too. I said, bro, you ain't sold nothing. He said, I ain't had a chance to. He said, man, John told me, man, don't worry about it, man. He was like, man, your girl love you, man. She gonna keep bringing the pot. You ain't gotta sell nothing. I said, man, he didn't tell you that, man. He said, man, he did, man. He told me, man, she gonna keep bringing it because she love you. You ain't gotta sell nothing. I'm like, I said, man, look, bro, I'm letting you know now. If I give you this, I want what I want back. Is that cool? He was like, yeah, I'm gonna look out for you. I promise. I said, man, I'm letting you know now I want my shit, bro. I'm not playing with you, bro. You know what I mean? I said, don't fucking tell that maniac you got something for me, man. I said, this what you do, bro. I said, spin his ass. I said, when you come back from VI, man, tell that nigga goddamn you gotta take a shit. I said, cause you might be in his cell when you go to VI. You ain't gonna be in here. He was like, I know. He was like, should I wait? I said, oh, you should wait, bro. You know what I mean? You should fucking wait, man. You should fucking wait, man. I said, look, when you come back from VI, tell that nigga you gotta go take a shit, or whatever the case, man, and go get me together right then and there. I said, cause when the doors pop, I'm gonna be right there waiting on your ass.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.